Hi. Good morning, homies. I just touched down in Copenhagen. I'm here on a trip with IKEA. Let's pause for a minute to just reflect on how freaking cool that is. I'm a certified IKEA baddie, and when they were like, hey, do you want to come to Copenhagen and Sweden for a few days? I was like, book the flight, I'm there. I got the lorazepam and I'm gonna handle that. The main attraction here that we're gonna be talking about is sleep. We get to visit the IKEA store in Copenhagen, and then we're heading up to, and look, the whole vlog, pronunciation. Guys, just accept the fact that mine won't be good, okay? Because who knows what we're gonna get. We relax, we have some lunch. After that, we take the train to Sweden. I'm really nervous about this part because I heard it's underground, and you know that's an issue for me. But we go to Älmhult. Älmhult.
Älmhult.
Älmhult. But anyway, we go to Sweden. We stay there for 2 days, look at the IKEA museum, get a tour of the IKEA test lab. Then they have like this entire presentation for us all about sleep and the ways that IKEA and their products are like working together to make sleep better, I guess, for all of us wonderful people out here. I'm like a legitimate IKEA fan and have been for decades. So the fact that am getting to work with them for this entire year, and that they were like, hey boo, you trying to come out to the Scandi? I'm like, oh my god, like y'all really like me, and that's cool. Spent the whole morning in DC like cleaning up my apartment so that the people who are staying there to take care of my dog would, like, I don't know, have a nice place to stay. So I'm dog tired. I don't think I have to meet with anyone from IKEA until like 4 o'clock, so I'm probably gonna take a nap. I don't even know if I'm hungry, but I do think I want like fruit. I'm gonna go downstairs, find something to nibble on, and take a nap. Ooh, that's some good tea. This is the bathroom. The meatball jammies. This is so cute. I don't know whose ass is fitting in those pajamas, but they are very cute. Oh god. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I get to like do stuff like this, and I get to call it a job, and it is always an honor. Okay, first things first, let's go downstairs and get some breakfast food. Mostly because it's included in the price of the room that I'm not paying for. Okay, y'all know I'm actually deathly afraid of elevators, but I do want to show y'all what theirs looks like because they are kind of cute. Look So tiny. I was like, stairs. Oh, thank you. ASOS. Yeah. I don't think we got a good look at the outfit, so. Red Coach Brooklyn bag.
No. Yeah, we told each other up.
Yeah, exactly. I have a stalker story for you. I was at an event that you were
A stalker?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was in DC.
Where?
It was at CL. And it was like there, it was the new menu or something. And I was like, she's in IKEA Copenhagen. And I was going to say hi and then I lost you.
Oh, girl, I was drunk as fuck. I would not have
That
known.
I would never remember.
Wait, let me not.
Ways we go. So if you love 1600s architecture and you can't stand modern architecture, let me know. I'll know what to praise and what to, well, not praise. A perfect cure for a jet lag. So yeah, two types of beers: Danish brewery, a lager and a pale ale. Some lemonade if you're not up for alcohol. I don't blame you. White wine in case you don't want any beers. We did your favor here and got a French one instead of a Danish one. Danish. Yeah.
Nah.
All the beautiful landscapes.
It's more in the sweet side, and instead of with more like I would say that it's the sweetest one from the.
Well, I thought I was ready.
Wish I could, but I can't. Ooh. What island is this? The Fairy Islands?
I went to like.
Just your saying my.
It was egg sandwich.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Last night, so fun. We went on a cruise down the canals of Copenhagen. It was so cute. We had a really adorable tour guide named Thijs, not Ties, because Ties means pea in Danish, which good to know. We went to this restaurant called Bloom. The food was good. I actually really liked it. I think one thing that I'm noticing about Danish, it sounds like English from a distance. Like, we were sitting there and having dinner and I was listening, eavesdropping on these guys' conversation that were sitting next to us, and I swore to God they were speaking English. And then I kept listening in on their conversation and I was like, oh wait, no they're not. No they're not. They're not speaking English. Danish sounds kind of just like English from afar. This is the Nanessa Myrix Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. Oh my god, I just got sunscreen in my freaking eye! I got sunscreen in my eye! Okay, fix that. Thank God. Look at the way this goes on. That blend, go Danessa. It's 8:30 a.m. right now. We are headed over to the IKEA store in Copenhagen. I actually just found out that there's a lot more people here than just the people that I'm with that we're meeting up with when we get to Sweden. Our press and influencers from South Korea, I think. So I'm really excited to see everybody who comes, because I'm like, I don't know, like, what do I know about South Korea content creators or South Korea media? I don't know anything. I'm literally just so excited to be here. One thing I did not anticipate for, or I just didn't realize, is how cold it was gonna be here. I bought a jacket and I bought a couple of baseball caps, but yesterday when we were out on the water, I was freezing. And we were walking back from dinner. I was like, my head is so freaking cold. it's pretty normal for me because bald, but girls, literally last night we had a whole conversation at dinner where we were trying to figure out if Denmark was Nordic or not, because some countries are Nordic but they're not a part of Scandinavia, and some countries are a part of Scandinavia but I don't know if they're like Nordic. And to me, all of these countries up here are exactly the same, but I don't want to be like disrespectful to the countries, but like girl. But it was so funny, our tour guide Tice, he was telling us about like Sweden and Denmark have constantly been fighting wars with each other for years over Norway. And he was like, you know, in our recent history in 1590 whatever, and I was like, 15 recent? I'm like, baby, the United States wasn't even a country. It was, well, let's be clear, the land, which we now call the United States, was a place. It just was not called the United States at 1590 whatever the hell. So he's telling us about that, and I was just like, oh baby girl, recent history in the US is like something that happened like 200-300 years ago. Their recent history is things that happened like 3,000 years ago, and I'm just like, oh, okay, we still talking about this? This is crazy. Like, today we have to take the big train to Sweden. I'm nervous about that because it goes underwater, but I thought the train was 5 hours long, and apparently it's only 2 hours long. So I'm like, okay, I can do 2 hours on the big train. I am actually in here sleeping like a freaking baby. If you don't know about the like Scandinavian like sleep style, instead of doing like one big duvet across the whole bed, they actually do like 2 smaller duvets. I'm sleeping on like a queen size bed, and there's 2 like twin duvets on top of the bed. And while I do like it, I wish that each section was bigger. Like, I sleep pretty wide, I never sleep pretty straight, and so the whole time that I'm like underneath this blanket, I can feel like my foot reaching the edge of the blanket, and I was kind of just wishing that like my portion of the blanket would be bigger. I don't know, like I wonder what it would be like to sleep with this bedding style with another person, but don't nobody live in my house, so like that would never happen. But maybe it would be like easier or better if I had to like share a bed with somebody, but because I don't, I'm just like, I want a big blanket because I like to wrap myself up in the blanket. Like, I like to, you know, bring it over and flip it under my legs and you know, have it all in my sheets and stuff. I do like the fact that if you are a more organized sleeper and you only sleep on one side of your bed, you don't actually need to like touch the other side of the bed. One of the stressful things about going on these types of trips is that the other work that I have to do doesn't stop just because I'm here. So I'm doing some content for Yale Home that's supposed to go live today, and we had like a very, very, very late last minute edit that needed to be done. I got off the plane, spent the whole day here, 2 a.m. my time. I was finishing an edit. My manager's in California. I'm finishing an edit for Yale Home that has to go up today, 8:45 a.m. DC time, like Eastern Standard Time. So that's pretty stressful, but I did just get an email from my manager saying that we were able to like get it all figured out and everything that we worked on is approved. So you'll see some posts from me and Yale Home. Congrats. Know that I worked on it while I was in Copenhagen. I love this bronzer. Charlotte Tilbury, you really did it with that one. I'm doing this thing where I set my under eye with a pressed powder. This is the Fit Me from Maybelline. It's like $10. You get it at the grocery store. I've been using this powder for years all over the face. And now I just started using the lighter shade of it to set my under eye, and I think it looks really pretty. And then I use the one size powder in Sweet Honey. Tap off on the back of my hand. I'm using like the viewfinder of my camera to do this because I don't have a mirror in front of me. This face can't move all day. I'm so cute. I will say, like, people here tend to be dressed very, I mean, people here look really cute. A lot of, like, really good basics is mostly what I'm seeing. A lot of trousers. That's pretty. Woo! And one size ain't nothing to play with. Mascara, Max Stack. Great mascara. We're rocking the Coach Brooklyn bag. Trench is from Banana Republic. Button down is from The Gap. Jeans are from The Gap. Cowboy boots are Allen boots. Okay, let's go to breakfast. So we're not late. Key to my little bicycle, okay.
Wait, where's the key go? Oh, the hole's right there.
Oh. This is an awful idea. I love it.
Look at all of us on our cute little bicycles. Hopefully no one gets hit by a car. Can we go in?
Can we walk through? Yeah.
Welcome to the vlog. So we're in one of these like IKEA stores where they have those like little setups where they show you sort of like what you can do with the products, but essentially they designed some of these with actual families in Copenhagen to like make sure that this store could service real people. So we're looking around and it's basically designed after a family that had a baby. Is that a bassinet? That is so cute. But then also adding things up top like those shelves really high up in the sky. Obviously you're doing the 96-inch pack. They really wanted to showcase all the weird angles that can happen in small old apartments. So your laundry is underneath this cabinet, your toilet is really close to your shower, and this is more like a wet room because I've noticed they love a wet room in Copenhagen. I have issues with wet rooms, but countertops are laminate. I've installed these countertops in my kitchen. They're pretty good. Yeah, all these like weird angles are so funny to me.
Oh, that was my first part.
No, when IKEA dropped this blue, they changed the game. Like, it might be one of the best blues ever. Those doors are nice. Let me get distracted. I don't know if that was an option.
Is that Copenhagen? Like, right. Yeah. It's like you shower with the toilet. Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to shower and pee at the same time. And what else are you gonna do? This will be an everlasting love. This will be. Trigger warning, we're about to discuss bodily functions. because somehow, some way, I have developed traveler's sickness or traveler's diarrhea or whatever the internet wants to put a fancy name on it. Basically, whatever I have been eating or even not eating is coming out of me at both ends. Today was our like main day in Älmhult. I've only been able to participate in like 1/3 of what we were supposed to do today because I've just been crying and throwing up and shitting for hours. I can't even describe how sad I feel, because it's like, to me it's a really big deal to be invited to stuff like this and to get to go on these types of trips and adventures, and I always want to make sure that like I'm putting like my best foot forward, and like I'm always like trying to be the best when I go. Like I want to make sure that I'm capturing the content so I can like share it with my audience. And like it got to a point where like I couldn't get out of bed. Like I just could not get out of bed. And to be clear, like no one on the IKEA team has even like suggested that I should be doing something differently. They're actually constantly asking me if I just need to go to sleep. They're like offering to go to the store for me, to get medications for me, to bring me food, and they've brought me food, and it was so sweet. They were trying to bring me food and they brought it to me, and I literally, as soon as I like closed the door and I tried to eat a little bit of something, like I threw up in the food. When people are being nice to you about something that you feel bad about, it just has a way of making you feel worse, because you're like, oh, they're so kind and generous. But I will be really honest with you guys, I feel terrible. I don't know if it's something that I ate, or I don't know if it's just like different water, new country, whatever. It could be a number of different things, but I've barely eaten since yesterday at breakfast. For the parts of today that I was actually able to enjoy, the first thing that I did was we went over to the IKEA test lab. We got to see how they test different products before they hit the market.
I'm gonna choose. Yeah. Ooh. You can see you are more lighter than the other one who was laying down before. So you can see the red spots, and that is from the pressure from the shoes on the air. Then we measure how it looks like when you are laying on the side, to see the pressure on the hip and the shoulder.
They tested a mattress for pressure, but also to see how it works when like you start sweating. So they had this thing that was like a sweating torso, and then they fill it with water, and they use it to like sweat in a bed for a couple of hours.
This is the mattress, and this is, as I said, measuring the heat distribution and the moist distribution all through the different layers in a mattress. I put the sweating torso on top. So Uwe is snoring usually, but not now. You can see here, this is from the start, and then you can see a curve up.
Then they like take it off, and then they'll see how the mattress adapts to like cooling down. We also did like a pressure test, I think it was, on a mattress where they dropped this like big rolling pin.
After 100 cycles, and then after 150, and then after 200 cycles, and then after that it's every 1000 cycles, because the mattress changes a little bit during the test, and to maintain the force during the whole test it changes a little bit, so it adjusts according to these measurement curves. So what we test here is the durability of the material inside, springs, foam, and everything. It also uses at measure plate.
They rolled it back and forth a lot, actually, with a ton of pressure just to see what would happen to the mattress over time. They have 3 testing sites for their products. The first one is here in Älmhult. There's another one in Shanghai that has like 100 employees. And then there's a 3rd independent testing facility that they use. It's not tied to IKEA at all. It's just an independent thing because in order for products to go to market, they have to be independently tested. So that's really cool. We were supposed to go to IKEA of Sweden, which was like the product development part of the trip. But I threw up, so I went to go take a nap and I missed that entire thing, which is really sad because it was like part of what I wanted to see. So that was awful, but what are you gonna do? I woke up from my nap, I felt a little bit better, and so then we went to the marketing and communications head, which was so insane to me because there's like 400 people that work there and the building was massive. All the facilities here are IKEA and they're within walking distance. There's like an activity house, there's the test lab, there's the product development lab. They just have like a whole facility that's like the size of a soccer field, and all they do is like make sets for IKEA. There's like a seamstress here. There's construction workers here. There's interior designers and photographers and 3D artists. I think her name was Amy. She was like one of the creative directors. She was telling us that IKEA produces up to 70,000 pieces of media a year. That's like 7,000 a week. And they do that for like all of the different markets. So
the film studio, as we call it. We of course do motion media all over the studio, but in here we have a soundproof studio. But it will be a kitchen and with some dining with some sleeping loft up there.
Oh.
So
oh sh.
Sadly nothing in it now.
I can't show y'all that. It's so weird because like in my mind, IKEA is a big company because it is a big company, but like in reality, IKEA is so much bigger than I thought it was. Like so much bigger. Like when I got invited to this trip, I thought the only people who were gonna be here was like the US people. And I think we were like 14 people, but nope. Like the UK people are here, Italy is here, the Swedish market is here, the South Korean market is here. I'm just like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And so I got to see a couple of my favorite creators. I was like, oh my God, like I am fangirling so hard because Medina's here. Medina's here and we got to chat, we got to talk, and I was like, oh my God, like, hey, big fan. I feel good that I'm able to rally for some parts of this, but you know, I don't know. We're supposed to meet downstairs at 6 o'clock to get on a bus, and we're going to dinner. And I'm just praying that I don't shit on myself. Oh, now that we looking at y'all, y'all want to stop fighting? Fight! It's the last thing I do.
Just like getting blasted. My eyes reading blasted.
I don't know why I had to stand here, but I just like.
Where are you guys from? That's the side.
I'm here from Älmhult. This is my parents' place. So we have lived here like for 5 generations.
I studied furniture design, both in Sweden, in Carl Malmsten School, and then I also studied in Canada. It's been taking us many years to develop it, actually. So we did launch the other products that that's in this collection before this one actually. Together with the development team, we can take decisions that helps us moving forward. So usually it's like this, and then maybe we just mark things that we like here.
How long do you say is from like the first sketches to this sort of second
round? It really depends on
round?
how many projects I have ongoing. Usually we have maybe 10 or 15 projects at the same time. But it could be an afternoon, but it could also be a week. It depends. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have the possibilities to work very freely as designers here. So we don't calculate how many hours we put on every project. It's really, we put our passion really where the passion is. And sometimes some ideas happens really fast, or some you really have to work and tweak a lot. And this was one of those. I think I did, I don't know, I think I did at least 50 different designs on this one. And not only like this, also like physical prototypes. Not 50 prototypes, but 50 ideas, and then a lot of those other prototyping where you tested different things. Anything. So this is a piece of the cot, and if this chain got hooked on top of this is a solution that will stop directly. And this one we did stop. And then another thing for safety is that this mesh fabric is breathable. So if the baby's head falls to the side during sleep, it can still breathe through.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the size of mattresses? Because like, you guys don't really do king size beds.
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Yeah, for sure.
We have 4 sizes. We have twin, full, queen, and king.
For the US.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but not for.
Oh no, we have
close to 30.
Huge amount of sizes on a global level. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it's 30.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger one than the king somewhere else? Or no? Is the United States?
The Alaskan king, I think, is the biggest one.
You don't
No, we don't do Alaskan king, but I think that's the biggest one. Right?
Yeah, that's the biggest bed.
King size together.
So what's the biggest that you sell in Europe? A king?
Yeah.
No, not in Europe.
In Europe, yeah. 180.
A 180 is a
2 meters. 2 meters long.
is a queen.
No, it's closer to a king.
Oh wait, so this wait.
Because 160 we also have, and that is very close to queen size.
Okay, so y'all don't call it like twin whatever. You just call it
the metric system.
Wow. You guys really did it off with the metric system. I'll give you that.
Right, we have a Scandinavian way of sleeping, even with 2 duvets. That's not the whole European way, I must say, because many others in Europe it's more common. Even though you have duvet covers and duvet, you might have a bigger one, but Scandinavian is really 2. And actually we have learned that many people really appreciate that with IKEA in the US, because realize that that's also comes with benefits for sleeping. But we have all
What's up? So just a quick little recap, because I feel like the last I checked in, I was telling y'all that I was crying and throwing up. But today, on this day, I woke up like a new woman. I don't know what bug, what hex, what omen was put on me. But when I woke up today, it was like it had all brushed away. I woke up today feeling so good. My stomach was feeling so tight. I was feeling so skinty because I had thrown up literally everything and didn't eat for a day and a half. And I was like, oh my God, what waste. I want to tell you about the rest of the trip to Sweden because it was so freaking amazing. We woke up this morning and we had breakfast at the IKEA hotel. I'll be honest, Swedish breakfast is not my personal favorite. Here's cheese, here's meats, fine, but like I'm like a pancake waffles kind of girl, and they're not really doing that out here. I will say the orange juice out here has been bumping. I don't know if it's Tropicana, I don't know if it's fresh squeeze, I don't even know if you can grow oranges up here because like it's cold as hell a lot of the year, but the orange juice thumping. We went over to IKEA of Sweden, which is their like actual headquarters. It's where all the designers sit. And first we had a presentation from this woman. I think her name was Sarah. She's been one of the designers at IKEA for many years. And she was basically talking about a product that they're just bringing to market, which was a baby bassinet. And she went through the process of showing us her sketches, from like getting the brief from the development team to like little design sketches that she does in the office while drinking her coffee, and then how those sketches get refined, and then going deeper into like the different ways that they model and shape and 3D print and make prototypes and then test different products to make sure that they can come about to safety. And we really got to see like the life cycle of a product and why IKEA makes the choices that they make, because so many people hear from so many different markets. They were really trying to speak to all of us. She was talking about different like cultural changes within like, Europe or the US will change how they design a product. In the European market, they're creating a changing table. And again, y'all know I ain't got no kids, so this don't really mean much to me, but people in Europe, they'll put the baby's head right here and the baby's bottom right here, and they'll change the baby facing this way. But in the United States, they'll put the baby with the head facing here and the, you know, poopy parts facing down here, and we change the baby like standing like perpendicular to the baby. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You know, usually they try to design for like a global audience, but sometimes they'll make like specific changes to products depending on where they're going. After that, we broke out into these small groups and we started chatting with different key people at IKEA. We talked to this woman who was the acting chief sustainability officer, and we talked about a lot of the like different materials that they're bringing in and how they're trying to teach people to like new things. Across the world, people think of cotton as this amazing, wonderful, beautiful, great fabric, and it is. The process of making cotton and producing cotton is very taxing. I think since like 2015 is using only recycled cotton, but that's kind of still not enough. One of the things that I talked about was obviously decreasing the amount of cotton they use by like bringing in other fabrics like viscose and polyester. And I know when people hear those two words together, they just think it's like, oh, gross, disgusting, like non-natural fibers. But the reality is that in order to take care of natural fibers, you can't be using a washing machine in the way that like most American people use a washing machine and a dryer. That's just like the reality of natural fibers. Like we all think that we want the wools and the silks and the linens, but if you're not taking care of them the way that natural fibers are supposed to be taken care of, they're not going to last. They're not going to stay for long. Mixing in these other materials are allowing them to sort of like stop depending on cotton as much. Also kind of just like making it easier for people to live with the things that they have. Making things more durable based off of how like regular everyday Americans like you and I do. And one of the other things she touched on, and I really like this point, how IKEA is always working with their suppliers to keep bringing in new information, new techniques. This part really touched me because I'm taking a ceramics class right now, and my minor in college was in ceramics. And so the one thing that you have to know and understand about ceramics, it's very extractive from the earth. There's nothing that you can return back to the earth. Once you glaze and fire something in a kiln, it cannot be recycled. You literally just dig up the dirt in order to use it to make clay. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna stop eating off ceramics because I like it. But one of the suppliers that she was using, they had figured out a way to reuse materials. She didn't use the word recycled. What word did she use? Figured out a way to make new pottery using recovered materials and waste from old pottery, which is incredible. The fact that they were able to like reuse some of those materials and like come up with a new way to like keep it in the life cycle, I thought that that was really, really great. In the name of sustainability, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the sustainability queen. I don't know everything about it, and trust me, I be using single-use plastics, but I was asking about the changing ways in which that people live. We're moving a lot more. We're changing our homes around a lot more. How is IKEA working and make sure that their products are holding up with the changing lifestyles that people have? One of the examples that she gave was talking about the Pax wardrobe. How she answered the question actually addressed the problem that I had with my own Pax wardrobe. So I'm like, okay, girl, clock in. I don't know the exact date of when they changed this or what market they've changed it for. I don't know if it's rolled out universally yet, but the PAX wardrobes, to attach the back panel, you used to attach it with nails. And the problem with that is that when you want to go and take it down, it's really difficult, hard to take apart, and it can sometimes break if you're not taking it apart properly. What a new change that they had made for the backs of the PAX wardrobes is that instead of attaching them with the nails, you actually attach them with clips so that it makes it easier for people to take off that back panel and then disassemble the PAX wardrobe and then to reassemble it at a new location, which that means that I can keep my PAX wardrobe for much longer and keeps it in the cycle of moving on. Who else did we talk to? Oh my God, it was a lot of talking, y'all. A lot of talking. And y'all know I'm a chatty Cathy. So we was in there getting real yappy. Who else did we talk to? Oh, after that we talked to Sarah, the product designer, again, and we just got sort of like deeper into certain products. And I basically was making requests at that point because I was like, can we get some of the accessories? There are 2 sizes of the PAX wardrobes. You can get them in like a shallow depth or like a more deep depth. And I was like, yo, some of the accessories that you have for the bigger packs are not made for the smaller one. Can we get that? And she's basically like, no. Okay. To the point and very direct. She did give me a reason as to why the no, which is basically like IKEA has like a limit to the number of articles that they can have in store because they just don't have the space for more stuff. So every time they bring in something new, they take something out. Accessories that were built out for the larger packs, demand is just not there basically. And I was like, that's cool. I want it, but maybe everybody else don't. So then we went over to talk to the mattress guys because that was the whole point of what we were there for. We were there for sleep. The way people sleep is just, I don't want to say it's weird because I don't want to like, you know, trash it. And I'm actually kind of enjoying it. But I definitely say it's really different. So like, actually, I feel like I can show y'all on the bed that's in my hotel. This isn't the IKEA hotel because I didn't film much content when I was at the IKEA hotel because I was throwing up most of the time. But this is a box spring right here, right? So your bed and the box spring is like attached to each other, right? This is a mattress, okay? Then you put the bed skirt down over the mattress part. Then you get a topper. You get a topper, like a pillow topper. And then you put your duvet on top of that. It's like the Scandi style, but like this is mainly meant for married people. You get 2 duvets. And the idea is that like maybe 2 people who sleep together don't want to sleep in the same type. Like maybe one sleeps hotter, one sleeps colder. But yeah, so the mattress guys, they also talk to us. I'm like saying the mattress guys because I can't remember everybody's name because I'm telling you, we met so many people and everybody was like so nice and so passionate about what they were talking about. Also, there was a little bit of a language barrier because while everybody was speaking English, they do speak English with like a heavy Swedish accent. So sometimes I'm like focusing real hard to try to listen to what they're saying and I'm like, I missed that first name. Cause also some of the first names are like par. And like I'm saying it cause it's spelled like par, but that's not how they say it. And so some of the names, I just completely missed them because they don't sound like what they're spelled like or what I think they're supposed to sound like based off of how they're spelled. So the 2 mattress dudes, I will say they were so interesting because I have thoroughly been rooting for the downfall of foam mattress in a bag because I think they're awful. I think they're so stupid. Bring back spring mattresses. They redesigned a spring mattress for the US market.
If you're talking about then a very conventional way of, let's say, building a mattress is a hybrid mattress in your country would be you have a pocket spring core, you have a certain amount of one type or several types of foam on top, right? And then you have a big foam box that surrounds the pocket spring core. This is a very conventional way. This one is an old IKEA mattress. We have completely removed that foam box.
Oh.
So whenever you go to IKEA and buy a mattress now, it's more like this. we have an edge-to-edge spring solution.
Okay.
So you get, not only do you get rid of the foam box, because when you're sitting on the side of the mattress,
it divots.
You're waking up, you're sitting always on the same spot almost. So the foam over time can start sagging there on the full feet, but if you have a foam layer, it really pulls things together. So if you're sleeping with a partner, pocket spring is definitely the preferred solution. Or the bottom layer of spring starts working differently.
Okay.
And this enables us then also to sort of go down on the thickness of the top foam, because we are heading more, with the spring range we are heading more towards the springs doing the job than the actual top comfort. And this also then, from the benefit of them doing edge-to-edge springs, is that you get the full, not only the full sleeping comfort, full surface, but you also get the springs here, which is, you know, they will always come back over time.
Got it.
So depending on if you're in a humid area or not, the foam acts differently, but the springs will always be the same. We have the Vågstranda core, so the wave-shaped core that we have here is also existing here. Here you have a plush foam on top, so you should definitely try this one out. Yeah. No?
I do.
No photos, please. I won't ask you about what you weigh, but you're smaller than me, so I'm quite heavy. I weigh about 100 kilos. It's comfortable for sure, but I would wake up with pains. Yeah.
Say at one point in the conversation, I completely fell out because he told me that people were sometimes buying 2 flat sheets. And I think that that's crazy. You asked right, like we have like a fitted sheet that goes on the mattress, goes around the mattress, and then you have like a flat sheet. Well, they don't do that. They just have like flat sheets. And they're literally wrapping the flat sheet in the topper. And so I said, like, well, what do people do with the mattress? And he was like, well, sometimes people will wrap a sheet around the mattress and then they'll wrap a sheet around the topper too. And I was like, y'all are buying 2 flat sheets? That's insane. So fascinating to be in the room with like all of these different people from this like different culture and to see how they're able to like make products that really do conform to like American like sensibilities, even though most of the people there, I don't even think are American. Oh, we talked to this one dude. He was so cool. Like when we walked into the room, I was like, this is a sexy room. It was like all black. And he was the head of global product design or something like that. And he was so freaking cool. Like he had me wanting to buy Asics, and I'm literally about to go out and buy me some Asics. Like I want sneakers so bad. He was basically talking about the different products that IKEA brings to market and sometimes how they'll collaborate with different like smaller creators, smaller artists in order to like bring new ideas and bring fresh ideas to the market. And then that allows those smaller designers to become like global brands too for themselves. And so one example that Danny brought up, she talked about like the donut lamp. And when I tell you, everybody in the room was gushing over this lamp because I remember like trying to get that lamp and it was sold out for like 3 or 4 months. And then one day I went to IKEA and it was stocked and I said, oh, let me get them. Let me get them. And I bought one for myself, one for my friend, and one for my other friend because I was like, nope. I will not be without the donut lamp. I will not be like the only girl who don't have a donut lamp. Sometimes like IKEA has to judge and has to like try to figure out like which products are going to be super duper popular so that they're able to do a bigger production run. And how do you know if something is gonna go crazy viral and then the production run that you did for that line was like, you know, medium, and now because it's going crazy viral and everybody wants it, you should have did an extra large. And they were talking about just like the different ways that they go through their process of making sure that the things that they create are really for the many people. I want to just be so for real when I say like sometimes when you go on brand trips, it can really feel like the brands are like trying to sell you a line of BS. And I really do not get the feel of that from the people at IKEA, because everybody there that we talked to, and I'm telling you, we talked to at least 50 different people. They were all like, yeah, I've been here for 13 years. Yeah, I've been here 20 years. Oh, I've been here since 1999. I've been here since 1995. Some people wouldn't even say how long they had been there because they had been there for so long. And, you know, some people, they weren't shy about being like, that's not my job. Like, sometimes, like, we asked somebody a question and she was just like, I don't know. I don't focus on that. Like, I don't think about that. That's not a part of my purview. My job is to do this thing, and that's the thing that I do well. Something that was so nice about being here is that it felt like they were all speaking the same language. And they weren't all using the same words, but you could definitely feel like the ethos of IKEA running through everybody. And now that I go through and like look at different things that I have, or different experiences that I've had in IKEA, or different things that I've bought and purchased and just known about IKEA, I can definitely feel, you know, their commitment to like some of the principles that they stand for throughout their products. One of their things that they talked about a lot was democratic design. I'll put up a slide of like what it all means, because I'm just sort of babbling right now because I'm like really just excited. But those principles throughout their entire process, starting with how they create something, to the briefs, to the shapes and the testing, and then the marketing and all of that. And everybody seems to have like a solid core base. Like, they know what they're doing and they're not trying necessarily to be anybody else. They're not trying to be a luxury, I don't want to say they're not trying to be a luxury brand, but like they aren't. Like, they're not trying to be, you know, the most expensive home decor thing. Like, they're trying to be themselves. And I could definitely really feel that. I will say one of the funniest parts about going to IKEA Sweden is that they literally had us walking around like the back and the bullies. Like, I'm telling you, it felt like they were sneaking us in through the back door. In the IKEA Sweden building, they're working on like 3 to 4 years of like production at a time. So we couldn't walk through like the office's like main door because we would see things that we weren't supposed to see. And so they snuck us into the back. But even when we got snuck into the back, I'm telling you, like, all the little cubicles that we weren't supposed to be looking at were like blocked off with white curtains. And so I'm just sitting there like, it's so billowy in here. It feels so luxurious in here. Whole time we were supposed to be in there walking with our eyes closed because there was stuff we weren't supposed to be seeing. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, am I allowed to take pictures? Because I'm taking pictures of everything. I'm like, cameras out, phones out. I'm getting all the shots. And so I'm just trying to make sure, like, you know, I'm not going to get in trouble. But all in all, like, I would say we had a great time. I'm so happy that, like, I was feeling better enough to participate in this last and final day, because I did feel like I got a good understanding, a better understanding, I think, of IKEA and what they're trying to do. And I'm just really happy that I got to come here. And so, you know, after we had that day with all the media people, we went over to the IKEA museum and we had lunch. To eat this with a little spoon.
Did you eat it yesterday? Okay.
I'm nervous. will say this about the lunch. The Swedish meatballs are better in Sweden than they are in the States. But what was messing with my mind was that the Swedish meatballs were hot and the potatoes were hot, but the peas were cold. I don't know, I just thought that was really strange. I just was like, why can't the peas be hot? And then we took the train back to Denmark, and now we in Copenhagen. We're staying at the Grand Joanne. By the time I post this, I won't be staying here anymore, so I'm happy to tell y'all. Downstairs, somebody's doing like a whole photo shoot. It looks like for like a magazine. I'm like, it's cute. And this brings us back up to like present time, is that my suitcase is completely full and I'm still gonna be here for a couple more days, and I plan on doing just like just a little bit of shopping. Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. So I ran out and got a suitcase because I don't have a big checked bag at home at all. And every time I go somewhere that's not like a quick trip, I'm stuffing my carry-on rolly bag. I'm stuffing that to the brim, and then I'm carrying like a big heavy tote bag, and I'm kind of just tired of it. I'm just really annoyed of walking through the airport with a whole bunch of stuff on my shoulders. So I figured just invest. I can't remember how much this was. I think it was 1,500 kronas, which was like $260. But then I got 159 kronas back or something because like the tax thing. So I have to take like my tax paperwork to the airport to get my money back because I always do. I do that whenever I travel, especially in Europe. Some time to kill in between now and dinner. So I think I'm actually gonna unpack my old suitcase and pack everything in here. That's what we're gonna do.